Hello, it's another day. Me and Dad have been grafting on the car quite a bit. Let me show you. Oh, very dark. But yeah, we've made the mount for yesterday, pretty much, just before we go home. We made the mount for the radiator and for the intercooler at the bottom part. Also, I've cut the wings and I'm planning today on adjusting and making the rear bumper fit, because at the front it will be a little bit trickier situation. So let me show you what we've done so far. So this is our radiator mount. Quite primitive, but it does work. It's basically some 1 centimeter angle iron, like a flat piece of iron. Then we joined it up, made it very sound and strong. This is our intercooler mounting, and they fit quite nicely. Let me demonstrate that. So you grab this. We've welded some washers so you can fit the bottom of the radiator in place like this. As you can see, there's going to be a rubber grommet there, and then we have a mount over here, a mount over there, and this sits there. Doesn't want to sit right now because there's no bolts holding it. And then right in front of the rad is the intercooler, sitting just like this. And then intercooler sits right at the front. We measured the bumper already. We had to cut that section out so we can allow for the intercooler to have space, basically. But I'm gonna make ducting because the intercooler comes to about here. So I'm gonna make some ducting. I've cut it a bit too much, so I can make a duct that kind of shoots upwards and seals the intercooler down here. Then we're planning to make 2 holes, either like this or like a very tiny ones, to allow for airflow, because our oil cooler is going to sit right here. As I said, we've cut the wings. Now there's nothing underneath, and yeah, we're planning on making the rear bumper fit now. I do have some tiger seal, but basically what we did, we cut the, let's say this is your rear bumper, we removed this, we've cut the bottom part, and we left only the top with the foam inside. And I think I'm just gonna tiger seal that in place and foam up so it's nice and sound at the back, so even if you have a small bump, that doesn't blow to a million pieces. And then after we cut it, I'm thinking of making some brackets over here to hold the rear bumper in place at the front. Same over here. Right, down there, I'm gonna make some brackets shooting that way to hold it in place, and then with a plastic sheet I'm gonna make like a splash guard so the rear bumper doesn't get filled up with mud and whatnot. But I think it looks pretty good, especially with the design of the spoiler. It looks kind of meaty. Let me go and grab the arches. We'll lay them on top, measure, and then probably later today, if I have time, we'll cut them up. But yeah, it's looking great so far. Monday I'm gonna get some paint for the engine bay and paint the whole bay black. I think that's the color I'm going for. Tidy up all the seam sealer, spray everything black, and then start putting the wiring back together. Raptor the front underneath of the wings and the actual arches. But let me go and grab the rear arches and have a look how they sit on. Alright, so we've taped them over, and I think it will look pretty good, especially after we add the side skirts, the Cosworth ones. I think it will look pretty nice and sweet. As you can see, it kind of lines up pretty good. Obviously it's just tape, there's no fasteners or anything like that. We're gonna play a little bit more when we get to actually mount them. But the whole rear end changed with just adding a bumper. And we'll have to cut some of that metal out, which really hurts because 10 years I've saved it from cutting, and now I need to cut it. but it is what it is. I want to go wide and fast. We're gonna make some sacrifices. The tires are perfect at the front. They won't be rubbing anymore, hopefully. Same, perfect at the back and perfect at the front. It's pretty much, this is the perfect offset and tire size for the car. I'm pretty happy with that. The engine, I've been playing yesterday a little bit with it. This is our turbo. It's a Pulsar 722 AR at the front, and I think it was 0.85 at the back. 3-inch outlet, water cooling, oil cooling and lubrication. Pretty nice unit, honestly. It could have speed sensor if you want to. Also, you can get boost reference from here if you want to again. This is our Turbo Bandit manifold. I got this for £100 from a friend of mine who was gonna build one of these engines, but in the end he didn't. I've got this for £100. The only problem with it was he chopped off the Westgate collector, because this is a true twin screw. The front 3 rows and the rear 3 rows are different screws, so you have to have that joined up together. And yesterday I had to basically weld a V-band over here because I couldn't get my torch to basically do the welding. But this is done now. Let me move that bumper out of the way for a second. We got this done yesterday, and we have a tile 44 replica, and obviously replica, I don't have that much budget. And this is gonna shoot backwards like this. Everything is V-banded minus the turbo, but yeah, this is gonna shoot back and connect to the actual downpipe, because it's gonna be a street car and I don't want it too loud. I get the screamer pipe, it's cool and everything, but just too loud for me. The only downside that I see that could be a problem is if you compare, this is the top of the engine, look how much higher the turbo sits. So I'm not sure how these manifolds were designed in mind, but I think this could be a very, very big problem. Obviously, if I have to cut the bonnet, I'll cut it. Not the plan that I was shooting for, but you know, it's too late now to order Kangaroo's manifold, because usually this is my escape, right? A manifold doesn't fit, text Petyu from Kangaroos, hey bud, I need a manifold urgently, and then he sends one out. But it's too late now. We have 27 days for the car to be running, painted and on a trailer. And yeah, this is the the condition of it right now, which is a bit worrying. Anyway, Alright guys, engine bay is painted, the wings are undercoated, also the edges of the wings are painted black. Let's have a look. There we go. Engine bay shiny, is painted a couple of hours ago, but it's already dry to touch and whatever. Like even if you press somewhere, it doesn't leave a mark, which is amazing. I've started fitting this wing. Basically that's fully fitted already. It's all positioned nicely. The gaps ain't perfect, but it's a 60 pounds brand new Taiwan #1 wing sort of a thing, so I'm gonna live with it. As I said to Dad, I don't want the car to be like 100% restored perfect, because it's gonna be a daily car, but I want to have the body kit. I want the car to be very quick, very drivable. Like, I just want a nice looking car, but I don't want it perfect, because whenever I have something perfect I get it ruined immediately. So I can live with this. All right, door opens and closes absolutely fine, not touching anywhere. That's perfectly fine for me. The wings are on, the headlight is on. Like, headlight is cracked, it is what it is. When I get there I'll replace the glass on it, fine, but yeah, it's not a show piece, it's not a show car, it is functional daily race car. But yeah, let me put you on a tripod and let's put this side together as well. You can see how easy a 190 is to put back on and assemble it, but I'm loving the way it looks. So let's get cracking. Hello guys, it's another day, and I've got an engine dangling behind my head. I have taken the sump out, cleaned it up, and did some alley welding for the turbo return, and I'm ready to start re-gasketing the motor, the engine, the powerhouse, the thing that spins, but yeah, let me show you what we have done. Today George is a little bit happier. The engine mounts have finally arrived, the flex plate has arrived, and hopefully later today the head is gonna be ready as well. Sorry, just had lunch. Yummy bites. But yeah, I need to replace the gasket on this, but yeah, have a look. So this is our engine, M103 2.6, nothing special, absolutely stock bottom end, nothing touched to it. Everything is the way it came out from factory. I'm gonna take this bracket off and this front cover. I'm gonna replace that seal, and I replace the silicone that runs around here, and then we're gonna use the silicone over here instead of a gasket, because I don't like the gaskets, they always for some reason leak. So a little bit of silicone around here and we'll be good. This is where I have welded the return, welded a little bit on the outside as well, just to stiffen it up, make it stronger. New flex plate, and this is the old one, this is from Giano's. This is the new engine mount. As you can see, they're moving the engine quite far backwards, which is good. Andy has done some tack welds for me to hold it in place. I mean, this over here probably just weld it, but yeah, if we put these, you can see, so this hole kind of sits here, and this hole now sits a little bit different. As you can see, moves quite a bit forward. Same here. This is that one, if we position that there, you can see how much is being moved. Quite a big difference. Hopefully that'll work. But yeah, we'll bolt them down, we'll check it. But first, bottom main gaskets. We have gasket for this. Rear main, we'll silicone the pan. We're gonna silicone the front cover, change this seal at the front, change the seal in here. Yeah, pretty much getting ready to put it back in the car. Probably gonna paint it, most likely we're gonna forget. Zeno is here doing some stuff, his BMW, and yeah, this is how this turned out yesterday. All the stock wiring loom is back in place, so we're trucking along. Okay, let's get ready to install some stuff. First of all, we're gonna do the front cover. Got the new seals and whatnot on it already, and I'm gonna scratch the mating surface and clean it up a little bit with some Scotch-Brite. There we go. For the sump as well, just to be sure this is done. We just need to wipe it down and we can scratch this up a little bit. Basically, you're cleaning up any old residue of glue or whatever that could be sitting here. By the way, this is not a guide, alright? If your engine starts leaking after you do it the same way, it ain't me, okay? Do this on your own risk, okay? Alright, I don't want comments of the type, oh, I followed your instructions, now my engine is leaking like a sieve. Ain't me, bud. Don't put that pressure on George, alright? Gonna get a clean rag, dump some brake cleaner on it, wipe down both surfaces so they're nice and clean, no oils on them because quite dirty. Basically our RTV has a chance to bite, you know. Then you can grab this, get our RTV of choice. I'm using this one, very nice bottle, but it's on its way out, so I'm gonna put it here. I don't know if you can see me, hopefully. Okay, that will do. Very thin bead, and get your finger, smear it around the whole mating surface. It needs to be very thin. You don't want it thick because all these parts are coming from the same engine. They're machined to fit together, and as long as they're not in bad condition, they'll do just that. They'll fit perfect on there, and they don't need a bunch of silicone and stuff like that, because if you put too much, it's not good. It will droop on the side of the mating surface. At some point of time can fall down, go into the sump, block up your pickup, and it's just bad day. Very bad day. In fact, over here I've put a bit too much, so I'm gonna just take it away. Doesn't need to be there. So very nice and light. Doesn't need much at all. We're gonna see now. can see, don't know if camera is focused, but very thin layer, nothing special, nothing too much. Just make sure it's all clean, there's no oils and stuff like that, because if there is, obviously, you know, not a good seal is gonna happen there. But if everything is clean, you should be good. Clean your crank very nice before you put this back on, because if it's not clean, what could happen is you could get a leak from your new seal, which is not great. That's not what you want. Give it a small taps. Obviously I haven't installed that seal that is between the upper and the bottom one, because, well, we don't need it right now. We're going to be taking the head off, so no point installing it. But usually it's easier to put the seal here and then install it. Otherwise you need to put the seal, I'll show you when it comes to it, but you have to put the seal in, you have to slide some metal and pull it out, and loads of stuff extra. But when we get to it, I will show you how George does it. Seems to work every time. So now we can put our bolts back in it, tighten them a smidgen. I am back, ladies and gents. Let's finish this thing. Yep. Right. When the tube is new, it's so much quicker, as you can see. There we go. Stop moving. Now we grab a whole bunch of them. So, camera died, but yeah, this is how the TE Motorsport front trigger kit mounts. It's pretty sturdy, hopefully no problem when vibrations and whatnot. pretty nifty design over here. Yeah, not bad at all. I like it. Stout. And it's gonna be a bit of an issue fitting a belt. I need to undo the sensor, drop it down, put the belt, blah blah blah. But it is what it is. Okay guys, engine and gearbox are currently in. Unfortunately, I still don't have a cylinder head. These guys are taking the sweet time. So yeah, we're still waiting for this, but I need to progress forward. I need to start bolting stuff on this car. As you can see, engine mounts are in and painted. I've welded them. I'm happy with what Andy has done. Now I need to go underneath the car, drill some holes for the gearbox mount and bolt up the gearbox. And I've already sent him measurements for the drive shaft. And yeah, we can start making a shifter inside, do the brake lines, do the clutch lines, bleed the clutch, make sure everything is good before we bolt a million things to the engine. You know, if we need to pull it out, at the moment it's just 2 bolts and the whole engine comes out. But I need to test that clutch bearing, make sure everything is fine, everything is not like moving freely, nothing hitting and all that stuff. And once we go ahead, then we can, you know, bolt exhaust, intake, change the cylinder head gasket, and the cylinder head itself, and so much stuff. But for now, let's crack on with the boring stuff like brake lines and stuff. I'm not gonna bother you with that. It's just cut, flare, nut on it, done. Or cut, nut, flare, whatever. But yeah, this is how it sits, and when you press it down, that's how much space you have there. I'll show you a little bit better later. And also I have to move the firewall on the back side now, because obviously at the front it won't go in. And as you can see, over here it's touching, over there it's touching, but the whole engine is tilted backwards because obviously gearbox is not bolted in. So let's jack this car up again and bolt the gearbox. I need to make 4 new holes. Okay, so Andy's mount is in the car. We don't have much space up there, but we do have some. So that's all it matters. This is our shifter. It's a ghetto situation over here. George has made some contraption. I will show you later when I pull it out of there. I'm gonna go have lunch, and after that I'm gonna make a hole over here bigger, so our BMW E36, E46, E91, E93 or whatever shifter, we can bolt it in place, and then we can make the shifter rod. Obviously our engine is moved back now, and it's a 6-cylinder. This is M111 mount, but it does work. You just need to open up the holes a little bit. George went a little bit too much, but you open up the holes, bring it back, make new holes in the chassis, push the nuts through where you need them, and bada boom bada bang, everything fits. Gearbox is holding on its own, and George is a happy boy. Right, let me shuffle myself out of here. I definitely need to get a ramp soon. Oh, something, man. Oh, yep, there we go. Jeez. Right, so from this W203 shifter we made this work. It's a bit ugly, but it works absolutely wonders. How does it work? So first of all, this ball here unscrews. Then I removed this arm for the reverse lockout thingy. This has been removed, and as you can see over here, this has a cut. This cut stays the way it is. We just replicate another one on this side, and when you cut this on that side, then you get this little bit. Hope you can see it. Weld the M10 nut to it, drill this out so the bolt can go through but still be very snug. And then I drilled a hole about 90 degrees from where the original holes are. So instead of the holes being here and here, the holes now are up there and down here. and it looks like a BMW shifter pretty much. And this little thingy at the front, you can bolt it in with the locking nut. So basically you bolt it till it's snug, but it can still go up and down, of course. And then on this side I have like a plastic bushing that goes into our BMW shifter. And yeah, this is the device that shifts your gears, and as you can see, they're pretty snug, pretty nice feel. So I will paint it, put it back in the car so it doesn't rust, and we can move to clutch lines and brake lines. There we go. We have a 26 pounds short shifter, BMW E36, E46, E91, E93. There you go. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Reverse all the way and back. There she is. Loppy boy. No pedals though. Alright, it is exactly 1 o'clock afternoon right now. Well, 12:56. I've got the head, so let's start ripping the old stuff out, put a new head in, and then we can start putting the fun stuff like the intake, the exhaust, and sensors and whatnot, and get it ready to actually be a running and driving car. Yesterday, as you've seen, we fitted the 6-speed in it. Gosh, it's hot inside the car. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, reverse. Big floppy guy, but he will do just fine. You will get some used to it because there's no reverse lockout, you know, but you can feel when it goes in too deep for reverse. So as long as you've driven the car for 2 minutes, you probably know what to do. So yeah, let me put you guys on a tripod and let's rip this old guy out of there and put the new one in. All right, hope you have a very good shot of the vehicle, the head, and let's start taking stuff apart. There's the cylinders. All of them look pretty good, honestly. Don't see no issues with them whatsoever. I don't feel an edge over here. That's a good running engine. That little 2.6. Let's see if we can make 600 with this little boy. Right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna rotate the engine a little bit so this dips down a little bit. I don't want to be sanding too much on the skirt, but I'm gonna clean this up with wire brush, clean up the mating surface, then slowly 1500 the block, get rid of any glue or any residues and whatnot, and yeah, we should continue. So this is a good block. Let me show you a bad block. Yeah, move some stuff away. But yeah, see this? There's a ring edge over here. There's still cross hatching and whatnot, but a lot of edges where pistons have been sitting for a long time without any lubrication. This can be saved, of course, but I'd rather go with this that's already clean and nice. We can build this into a stroker or, you know, a bored out 2.8 or 3 liter. We'll see. Options, we have the engine, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah, let's continue with this. Okay, I have some degreaser, waxing, whatnot, wax and glue removal or something like that it was. I'm gonna clean up the head, clean up the block. All the mating surfaces and whatnot. Make sure it's all good and clean. Put the gasket on. Uh-oh. Think we should be supplied the wrong gasket. Yep. Well, bugger. Yep, the gasket is wrong. It's probably for a 3 liter instead of a 2.6. Alright, let me call shops now. Well, unfortunately we've hit a concrete wall, and the cylinder head gasket that I have is from a 3 liter by running the part numbers. I don't know how that got mixed up, but the car now is in pieces, the engine is in pieces. The quickest head gasket that I can get is going to be about 5 days from now, directly from Mercedes themselves. So I've ordered 2, just in case. So got 2 coming from Mercedes direct, L-ring. I've got 1 coming from eBay, new old stock L-ring as well. We called L-ring directly to ask them if they still have some, or like if they're still manufacturing them, and the answer was no. They are not making the 2.6 head gasket anymore. So this is a bit worrying. So I think I'm gonna slowly start stocking up on gaskets, because obviously I have one engine behind me that needs a head gasket. I have my gold 2.6. It doesn't need a head gasket, but it's leaking very bad from rocker covers and whatnot. So I'm gonna be opening that engine, so might as well, you know, do a head gasket on it. So yeah, a bit worrying, but it is what it is. I'm gonna collect all the parts very neatly into a box or something like that, and put them away until the new head gasket comes in. And in the meantime, I'm gonna start doing the brake lines, because that's a job that needs to be done. So might as well, instead of, you know, burying our faces in the ground of, you know, stress and, you know, angriness, because I'm a bit angry, we're gonna just keep on doing stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna clean up over here in the tent a little bit and start doing the brake lines, which is one of my favorite things to do. No, definitely not. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Once to clean up, put everything away, and you know, make some progress on brake lines. Okay, so brake lines are done. One swoops down under the engine and around there, and comes and sits there nicely. And the other one is pretty much straight through there. Now I'm gonna be cutting off the purchase for the springs, so I decided to route them different way, and I'm gonna make like a holder for the brake lines. Basically cut the original one off and re-weld it somewhere else, or bolt it somewhere else, make a rib nut and bolt it in another position, because we might go coilovers on this. Well, might, 99% sure that we're gonna go coilovers. But yeah, I have ordered the head gasket from Mercedes 2 times, and I've ordered one from eBay, new old stock from a shop. We'll see which one comes first, and yeah, we'll go from there. For now, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's been a couple of good days, and one of the gaskets arrived, and I'm gonna spare no minute further, and I'm gonna slap this gasket on, put the head on, and time the engine so we can move on to other stuff, because George is running out of time. He has 19 days to complete the car. Very bad. Let's go. Okay, I've got the new gasket. Let's gently apply it to the engine of ours, you know. No, that's the wrong gasket now. That's the old one that didn't fit. Where's the new one? Ah, yeah, it's over there on the ground. Oh, mate. You don't have to do that on your vehicle, but my gasket, it's a bit meh. At the front, it's a bit crooked, bent, or whatever you want to call it. Whoop. Just remove the bumper. Wow, come on now. There we go. this is it. Okay, let me grab the bolts. They're in the boot. Yep. Okay. Okay, it's time for manifold. I have put the studs on. I saved you a couple 45 minutes of putting studs. I hate doing that job. It's tight. but it fits. And if it fits, it's perfect. So these, I went for the shorter studs just because the manifold is so tight in these areas. So I'm gonna have to tighten all the rest of the bolts, nuts, sorry, and then tighten that one up. But yeah, it's gonna be very tight in here. But the plan is, if we can put the turbo on today, basically what I want to do is I want to close the engine. Now that everything is assembled, I don't want any dust or debris or anything like that going inside the engine. So I'm doing my best to basically put whatever I can to stop anything going into the engine. It's a bit bent, but you know, don't look at that stuff. It's fine. It's fine. Huh? And oh, boom, big turbo. Oop, it's not even the shot. There you go. You can have a proper look at this proper engineering masterpiece of pulsar turbo with 0.73 AR at the front and 0.85 at the back. Gonna take 3 business days to spool probably, but it'll make a lot of power. And since it's gonna be a daily / beat around in Bulgaria whenever we go on holidays, it doesn't matter as long as we go fast whenever we need to, you know. All right, it is the next day. I've decided to play a little bit of a catch up because it's absolute madness in the yard. There's cars and all sorts of sounds going on, as you can hear. So I've done a couple bits, as the oil filter sandwich plate thingy magic is already on. The lines are going to the front. I have done the feed for the turbo. I have done the drain. I just need to plumb it in, and I am at the stage where I can put the intake manifold. I just made myself some longer bolts than the stock ones, so they can go through and protrude enough to go the full length of the threaded part of the intake. I'm gonna run some washers on these brand new ones, and then the T Motorsport intake can go on. We have 1200cc injectors from RM Injectors in Cyprus. We have a custom adapter made from a friend of mine, so if you want something similar or the same one, give me a message, shoot your shot, and I'll get you in contact with him. He can make you more of these. They're quite nice CNC. Obviously George made them already dirty with silicone, but they're quite nice, bolt up nicely, and it's pretty nice. So yeah, let's throw this puppy not on the ground but on the engine, and let's go from there. Have a look how everything sits in there. I've also fitted the fuel pressure regulator. I like it there. We have oil and temp, temp and pressure. We're gonna have fuel pressure, maybe exhaust pressure if the sensor comes in time, and EGT if the sensors come in time. If not, we're gonna add this stuff in Bulgaria. It's quite easy, just, you know, take that off, drill it, and put the sensor in. But yeah, let's go. But anyway, and here, let's get this thing fitted. Oh, the car's moving back as well. Oh, oil line in the way. Go out of here, buddy. Yep, take a hike. Something. Yep. Frustration is getting to me already. Oh, mate. Freaking. It doesn't help that the whole car is moving back as well. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, so after much fight, intake is back on. We have done the oil feed, driver wire and stuff like that. Tomorrow I'm gonna plumb in the oil cooler, the fuel rails and stuff like this is gonna be all plumbed in tomorrow. Hopefully I can get away and have the time to do the coolant as well tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see how that goes, and then we can start doing wiring, the most fun part, you know, especially with the amount of switches and sensors that car is gonna have. It's gonna be you know, mad, but it is starting to look amazingly sexy. So this is it from me, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. The next video is going to be coming very soon, not like this one. This one, I kind of, the head gasket screwed me over, otherwise it would have been done by now. But yeah, next video, hopefully we can hear the car running and maybe even see it move under its own power. That depends of how Andy gets a drive shaft to me, but it's looking great. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much if you stayed to the end of the video, and yeah, see you again very soon. Bye bye.